Hey, everybody, welcome to the SkyLounge podcast, episode number 182. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode. Follow me at the SkyLounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music, and also check out the SkyLounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Without further ado, let's get shit started with episode number 182. Light falls through and then illuminates us. Teetering on the edge, Yang. Did you motherfuckers do your homework yesterday? Remember the last episode, episode number 181 at the end, I told you to do your fucking homework? No? Are you just crashing into this episode without any sort of knowledge that we had homework from the last episode? Alright, that's fine. But hey, if you do want to do some homework, like right now, pause this shit and just do homework, I'm going to suggest these things to you, alright? Young Pharaoh videos on YouTube. And also on YouTube, EMP Lemon's Meme Theory, how Donald Trump used memes to become president. Joe M's Q, The Plan to Save the World, remastered. Again, if not, oof, your loss. So, yeah, homework, kids. This is what we do on this podcast. I make you do shit sometimes. But you totally don't have to do it. It's not even for a fucking grade. It's like kind of a supplementary I suppose, resource to help you contextualize what I'm going to fucking talk about, in a sense. So, where were we on episode number 181? Well, we left off yesterday's episode talking about the ominous forces in our reality and how they are using fear to manipulate the masses into just mindless destruction of their own country. I mean, you're seeing it every motherfucking day, dude. I mean, you turn on the news, you turn on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, even Fox, and any of those fucking news channels. It's just a constant reminder that shit's, as Gwen Stefani once said, BANANAS. That spells bananas. All right. And here's the thing. News networks, celebrities, athletes, politicians, and people who you have never met before, okay, are colluding together to enslave the masses for a new world order. And again, these ominous forces, right? These nameless / very famous people, they're just ominous forces in this world right now. And they go by many names, many names. Democrats, deep state, cabal, Satanist, Freemason, I mean, list goes on, man. Illuminati. But you could see the slyness of these fuckers. And it's always done through rhetoric. It always is. It's always words, right? Each and every step of the fucking way. You see how these assholes just use clean rhetoric to incite violence, riots, obedience, fear, guilt, and control. Inevitably, and really inevitably, for what they want in their communist utopia. Simply put, I mean, look at Capitol Hill in Seattle right now. You know what's crazy? So when we talked about them last time, it was called Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone, very endearingly known as Chaz. Yeah, you like Chaz? Chaz. If you haven't seen Disenchanted, or is it Disenchantment on Netflix, you wouldn't get that reference, but it's okay if you don't. But Chaz was the name of the, Capitol Hill Autonomous Zone. And as somebody who's been to Seattle a couple of times, that area is actually pretty nice. They have some decent bars and food around, and I'm just surprised that a bunch of fucking Bolshevik LARPers went ahead and took over that area. But now they changed the wording. Ooh, more clean rhetoric, I suppose. Yeah. Capitol Hill Organized Protest. What the fuck? Like, what are you fucking mentally ill? Why are you even fucking naming this shit? Like, what fucking independent country are you trying to fucking run in that fucking communist hellhole? Huh? Fucking morons. I mean, listen, CHOP is the supposed, communist utopia. But when you see every fucking video circulating about CHOP, it's a cesspool of crime, intolerance, violence, and sheer stupidity. I mean, you had a gentleman, a fine patriot, exercising his right to free speech, right? Wearing his MAGA hat, wearing his Trump shirt, waving the American flag, and just marching by himself. No weapons, nothing. He's just walking, not even talking, not even acknowledging anybody. And you have choppers, fucking retards calling themselves choppers. So you got these choppers just making these animalistic screeches at the man, like, and trying to bother the man while he's just exercising his right as an American. So you see the kind of craziness that is involved here in CHOP, right? You have left-wing Bolshevik LARPers blindly applauding just themselves, and essentially this is just attention-seeking, right? I mean, it really is. You have these fucking kids who think they know how to run the goddamn world, but in reality, they don't even know what the fuck the world is. They think in this little small bubble of theirs that everything can be solved using free shit all the time. But that's not real fucking life. It's not. You see CHOP right now just hilariously ineffective in terms of how they're operating as a quote-unquote government. And man, it's absolutely wild that you have these psychopaths. I mean, I'm going to just flat out say it. They're fucking psychopaths. Just out there assuming that communistic tribes is what we want. And what do I mean when we say we? Well, we as in people who are law-abiding, good folks who live in this country, just want to live day to day in peace. That's the we. Right? And we understand that despite the fact that, majority of people just want to live in fucking peace, the United States is getting dragged into chaos and darkness by these ominous forces. And they're fucking mindless slaves. Right? CHOP, COVID-19, Black Lives Matter. All these are just fucking ruses to keep you motherfuckers fighting each other, to keep us all distracted. Right? And, the way this has been going down, I see it for what it is. It's a manufactured potential dystopia waiting to happen. And there are people who do not give a shit about who they hurt in this process. I mean, look at these news networks, man. Look at these celebrities, these athletes, politicians, and people who you have never met before. Constantly creating divide, constantly creating friction, constantly trying to tell you to become a part of a tribalistic mindset and a mob mentality that will lash out at anything that speaks out against you. That's not what freedom of speech is, motherfucker. All right? That's what you call censorship. And that shit is wrong. Ta-da! Fucking lessons for the day. Goddamn morons. But no. You're going to sit there and just tell me, conspiracy theory guy. Oh, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oh, he didn't do hours of fucking research and video and reading and all this other shit to kind of confirm what's been happening with this world and the fucking puppet masters behind this bullshit. But yeah, sure, I'm the fucking crazy one. I'm the crazy one because I'm not the one stuck in their fucking 9-to-5 goddamn jobs, constantly telling themselves that everything's going to get better when it's not. Because you've never actually taken a look at yourself in the fucking mirror. Ever. Yeah, keep telling yourself that shit. Keep telling yourself that a miserable life is worth living. Keep telling yourself that. Keep telling yourself that the truth isn't worth looking out for. It's a sad reality, man. It's a sad reality. There's not a lot of people now that go seeking objective truths, objective realities. And the problem with that is when you keep living in a very subjective, contextualized, and full of nonsensical meaning in you know, in that sense, you kind of lose yourself. You do. You're not really sure, you know, if you're actually thinking your own thoughts or you're just repeating and parroting somebody else. But keep being stuck if you want. Like I said yesterday, man. I mean, if you want to live to follow, if you want to live to serve, I mean, yeah, go for it, man. Just stay asleep. Stay a sheep. But there are truly evil forces out there in this world trying to kill us all. I mean, a bit of an exaggeration, not really. No. No. It's kind of crazy to say that because come on, man. Back in May, just a couple weeks ago, I wouldn't have said any of this shit. I would have just told you, dude, I'm not going to fucking do, a daily podcast for a fucking month to see if I can do it. I wouldn't have said that shit. But like I said, man, I've lost countless of nights of sleep just researching and trying to find out what I am, what knowledge can give me. And what it showed was that there really is good and evil in this world. And this is where we have to mention again, where we picked off from yesterday in episode number 181, the concept of yin and yang, right? So yin and yang are defined as yin, negative, passive, female principle in nature, which is dark, and yang, positive, active, male principle in nature, light. And if you've ever seen a yin and yang symbol, you'll notice that it is a circle, and there's like kind of a, halfway edge kind of mark, in a weird S shape. But one part or one half of that circle is a black portion with a small white dot, and the other half is a white circle with a small black dot. Why is that? Because the idea is inside the darkness, there is light, while inside the light, there is darkness. Now, kind of simple observation, right? You can't have shadow without the light, and you can't have the light without the shadow. And it's the combination of these two aspects of light and dark that create life and balance in this universe. Truly. It speaks also for the individual that, every person does have that light and dark in them. And it's up to, us to just figure out that balance on a day-to-day. But in life too, there is an aspect of good and evil. As crazy as it is. But you also have to understand that the one overtaking the other often causes imbalance and chaos, because too much darkness or too much light creates instability and tipping points. And that tipping point is a way for nature to try to get back into balance. And right now, I mean, the United States is in a state of imbalance with just darkness covering this country all over. I mean, we've had that for about, more than a decade at this point. And you feel America's soul kind of dying. And it's not something that you can show empirically. I mean, for me at least, I'm afraid I can't show that empirical evidence that, America's soul is dying. But just look around the way people are reacting to shit going on in the world. Most people are just downtrodden. Most people don't want to pick themselves up. It's kind of sad and depressing to look at. But there are a few people in this country fighting for the light, fighting for the good fight. And I'm telling you, man, President Donald John Trump of the United States of America. And man, where the deep state, these demonic fuckers is darkness and yin. I mean, President Trump is, and I've, in my perspective, has been an instrumental force of light, yang. And in the last 3.5 years of his presidency, I was somebody who, before he started his presidency, said, I think this man is going to be horrible. And I can't believe I even said this shit, but I even told people who voted for Hillary, thank you very much for voting for Hillary Clinton. You're a friend. But little did I know that Hillary Clinton was a fucking piece of shit. And my ignorant ass was just following the trends. And the reality is, I think Trump has done a fine job in the last 3.5 years relative to everything that's been going against him, whether it be Congress, with the House of Representatives just being overrun by Democrats, whether it's, frictions in the House, or not the House, I apologize, within the Senate, or within the Supreme Court of the United States, which within the last week, I mean, they've just been kind of going on decision after decision where a lot of the decisions coming out from the Supreme Court right now, notably the LGBTQ ruling and the DACA ruling, I'm very indifferent to it, despite the fact that, yes, I am a DACA recipient, but I don't agree at all with the ruling of allowing DACA to stay, and President Trump's attempt to rescind DACA is actually, prohibited by the court, which I think it's bullshit. I think they should have rescinded it and allowed Congress to figure out a more thorough plan to keep immigrants who have been in this country for a long time, who have been law-abiding people, who have paid their taxes, who has gotten education or higher educations or aspire to get higher educations here in the United States. And yeah, I think that should have been the best option to go with. But you see how the deep state is gnawing their fucking claws in everything in the American political system. Like that fucking judicial system, the legislative system, and right now parts of the executive branch, man, it's all entangled in this deep state shit. And Trump is just trying to do his goddamn best. Now, I'm going to let you know straight up right now, I don't wholly agree with every one of Trump's policies and the general school of thought with some of his politics. And I also see him kind of as very opportunistic with some of the issues going on out there. And my personal gripe has always been this. And this is just me, as somebody who loves to smoke marijuana. I think you should legalize marijuana and subsidize it like farms. That's just me saying it. As God, I'm starting on my fucking words right now. So I'm saying that personal gripe about marijuana as somebody who does love smoking marijuana, who does think 1 ounce or whatever have you, and an insane fucking tax to buy marijuana is ridiculous. But I understand that I'm just saying this out of personal feelings and not actual facts, data, and statistics. So I know I have to do research on that. So that's my big asterisk there. But that's just, again, a personal gripe, a feeling, if you will. But however, when you wade through his bullishness, President Trump's bullishness, and at times uncomfortable rhetoric, he's been consistent with his actions and quite honest about his dealings because he doesn't fucking censor himself. Like, this is what I appreciate about Trump. Like, this man just doesn't give a fuck at times. He just says what he needs to say, and it's like, oh shit, he could be wrong. But at the same time, he just said it. He just fucking tells you his opinion straight up. He doesn't fucking hide like these goddamn politicians. Nancy Pelosi, Joe Biden, you got that motherfucker goddamn, was it Tim Kaine? That asshole who said the America invented slavery, which is the biggest fucking false statement I've ever heard in my goddamn life. But man, Trump has been fucking brutally honest at times, and he is a man of action. And you motherfuckers right now are thinking, oh, this guy's just jumping on Trump's dick. All right, motherfucker, I'll give you some goddamn track records, man. I'll list you some shit right here, bitch. Rioting, he called it destructive, but he actually distinguished it, with peaceful protesters. So, yeah. And he actually said George Floyd's name. Okay, all you fucking left-wing morons who keep saying, oh, he never mentioned George Floyd. He literally mentioned George Floyd by name in one of the first press conferences days after I believe the riot started in Minneapolis. And because of all this tension amongst, the unrestful fucking Bolshevik LARPers and morons, Trump went ahead and signed the fucking executive order on police reform. And it essentially acquires the entire police, nationwide to go on a kind of transparency, a uniformity route, which, great. I mean, that's a huge fucking up. Obama's never done that shit. I don't think Clinton's ever done that shit. Certainly Bush wasn't doing that shit. That motherfucker was too busy, going over to the Middle East, doing just bonkers shit out there. But yeah, but somehow Trump's the racist, right? He's the one that's the warmonger, right? No. Trump's trying to fucking protect this goddamn country. Building the wall might sound offensive, but guess what? Not having a fucking open border where, I don't know, criminals can come over easily. Maybe having a fucking wall is a good idea. Shit, man. And also, you don't want to create an influx in the population. Like, where a lot of these immigrants head off to generally, within the state of Texas, Arizona, California, man, some of the neighborhoods out there, it's pretty much shanty towns. Have you been to LA? Downtown LA is a fucking shanty town of homeless people and low-income Hispanics. So what do? Build a wall. As offensive as it sounds. Stimulate the economy with the people you already have. Shit. Is that a crazy concept? Yeah, sure it is. Tax Cuts and Job Act of 2017. A divisive issue, I'm sure. And I would only imagine. But several policies like this and other actions that were taken have actually increased the US GDP and decreased the unemployment rate. Those are fucking numbers. Those are actual numbers. Like, I believe in 2019, the unemployment rate went down to nationwide, I believe, like 3.7, or it had to be 3 point something, because it was surprising from where it started at like 6 point, I want to say 6.4 back in 2015 or 16. But the numbers speak for themselves. All right. Sometimes you have to contextualize stats, but when it comes to GDP and unemployment rate, holy shit, that's pretty huge. Right? And guess what? Guess who was the first fucking person, one of the first people in the top fucking head saying, oh, we should fucking close off China so the goddamn Chinese flu doesn't fucking spread. Kung flu. Fuck that shit. Wuhan flu ain't nothing to fuck with, okay? He wanted to close that motherfucker down. He wanted to say, fuck you, China. You're shady ass shit. We're not fucking getting, potentially diseased people into the country. But what the hell happened? Not to keep it open. Because he was racist. So, here's the thing. Y'all bitching and moaning about the pandemic, but you realize if it was left up to the deep state, this shit would have been fucking much worse. Like, Trump called out fucking Fauci for the fucking phony asshole that he is. And during the whole fucking pandemic shit, you had Democrats just saying, oh man, if he could have prevented, he could have prevented it, but it was you motherfuckers that was just holding him back. Trump said, let's fucking close our goddamn shit from China. Numbers could be substantially fucking impacted if you did that, but no. And I'm not trying to fucking put Trump on the goddamn pedestal here and say he's a god and like, oh yeah, he's perfect. Like, he's not perfect. I mean, most of these things weren't even perfect, and they're still not. But there's logic and reason and honesty to what he's doing, essentially. I mean, relative to the other fucking dirty ass politicians. All right. And here's the thing, man. It's fucking politics where it's so hard to just go with forecasts and projections and just deem it bad and good within, the first month or two. It takes years to assess and see what the actual benefiting, damage is. But no one's going to tell you that shit. Because the deep state fucking media propaganda is going to get on your ass and tell you that Trump is the worst motherfucker on the planet Earth and that he will kill you. But that is the exact opposite. Trump wants to protect you. It's the deep state assholes that want to fuck you over. All right? News networks, celebrities, athletes, politicians, and motherfuckers who don't even give a shit about you, who have never spoken to you before. They're the motherfuckers that want to kill you. Okay? But you see why the deep state is attacking Trump so hard, because this man is getting shit done. They're terrified. I mean, all the shit that's happening right now, it's just the deep state just fervently going about to stop Trump and have him potentially lose in the 2020 election, which I don't think is going to happen. I think Trump's going to fucking win in a goddamn landslide. And my ultimate dream before the fucking election is that court date in September for Hillary Clinton. I hope that bitch gets arrested. I hope Clinton, I hope Bush, Obama, Soros, all those motherfuckers get arrested for all the fucking bullshit that they've done to this country. They deserve worse than just a prison sentence, all right? They deserve some nasty shit happening to them. They don't even deserve to die, all right? They deserve the worst fucking torture shit before they fucking croak, okay? Or if you guys ever watch Bleach, I'm going to tie it back to an anime, but if you guys ever watch Bleach, man, there's this character named Mayuri Kurotsuchi, and he is a scientist and a Shinigami, which is a Grim Reaper. And it's a super long story short. I don't want to get into the fucking nitty gritty of Bleach. It takes way too fucking long. But Mayuri Kurotsuchi basically uses this superpower where, well, it's not a superpower, but his brain is so fucking awesome that he creates a pill that makes, what was it, like 1 second feel like 100 years or some shit. So I want that shit done on those fucking criminals. I want that shit done on Clinton. I want that shit done on Obama, Bush, Soros, any motherfucker that is involved with trying to destroy this country. I want them fucking tortured to the worst degree possible. Stick it in your ass real slow. METHOD, man. Yeah, man, like the deep state, like they're fervently going about to just fucking stop Trump at all costs. At all costs, man. This man has survived 6 assassination attempts. 6! He has been taking digs at the highest fucking deep state puppet masters. And it's the fucking motherfuckers I mentioned, man. Soros, Clinton, Bush, Obama. Okay? And this man, with the help of a couple of friends, is attempting to bring peace to violent cities run by communists. Law and order, bitch. Law and order. And trying to preserve the self-interest of this great country without it being picked apart by fucking global elites who treat this country like a fucking organ dealer. All right? They probably are literal organ dealers because that's how much of a piece of shit they are. And you see it, man. I mean, the deep state is terrified. They've been fucking scared since 2015. They happen, straight up. And everything up to this point in 2015, they were going swimmingly for the deep state. I mean, Obama was basically hiding criminals and funding their fucking activities. ISIS. Was it Tehran? Is that right? He gave a shit ton of money to fucking Middle East over there to fund their bullshit. Warmongering motherfucker. Didn't really take care of any of the fucking crime. Police reforms here in the United States. Had foreign interests to worry about. Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, these fucking scumbags out here sacrificing people, enslaving children, destroying communities, pillaging small countries for marginal resources, and playing games with people's lives for more control. Like, these are the motherfuckers that I wish we had back. No. Obama, Clinton, Bush, Soros, all these motherfuckers, they deserved the worst fucking thing possible to any goddamn human being. Just torture after torture after torture after torture. That's what they fucking deserve. And it really is kind of revolting when you find out what these deep state motherfuckers actually do to people and children. Like, it's genuinely awful. Like, Hollywood is involved in that shit. Politicians are involved in that shit. News media is involved in that shit. Big corporations are involved in that shit. It's fucking terrifying, man. Like, this is the kind of shit people are okay with, apparently. Like, I was mortified when I saw some fucking video analysis from guys like young Pharaoh, where he's talking about these Satanists, these cabal motherfuckers just destroying human beings, man. It's fucking terrible. And these deep state assholes have been siphoning this country's soul for decades. Decades. JFK was a fucking hero. Did you know that shit? Yeah, JFK was not a perfect man, but that man was a fucking hero. Before he died, he said, I'm going to splinter the CIA into 1,000 fucking pieces. Million pieces. He knew the CIA was fucking dirty. He knew CIA was corrupt as shit. He knew. He knew deep state. And the man was fucking assassinated for it. But here we are in 2020, man. Here we are. I believe with all that he's done so far, President Trump is the essence of Yang in time of chaos. He is the light in that sense of the word. He is somebody who I actually trust right now. The only one that I kind of take his word for. Word. The yin in the deep state will do everything in their seemingly limitless resource and power to bring this man down in his effort to bring peace and prosperity to this great nation. And the United States is a great nation, kids. It truly is. But you have these demonic motherfuckers being sly about their shit. They're like Wile E. Coyote, man. They just try to trick you, play all these goddamn fucking wonder illusions on you. So what the fuck can we do? That's a lot of information I'm throwing at you. It's a lot of, what you see as conspiracy theory. That's a lot of shit I'm just throwing at you right now. If you listen to this goddamn full episode. And you are probably wondering to yourself, what the fuck can I do? I'm just an everyday person, man. What the fuck can I do? I can tell you this. I might not be anyone, but I know what we can do to stop this chaos. At least from an individual sense, at least from a person-to-person sense. Unlocking the truth often means teetering on the edge of yin and yang, darkness and light. Information and research about the deep state is not for the faint of heart. I will say that right now. I'll be honest, dude. When I started going on this journey of red pilling myself and finding out the truth, I really didn't expect the kind of depravity that I would see and in the people that I thought were good people in terms of what I've seen in Hollywood and the media and politicians, but it kind of fucks with your reality. It kind of fucks with everything that you know. But it's honestly good to have the real truth and burn off dead wood, as Jordan Peterson would so lightly put it. I've been watching a lot of these philosophical videos, a lot of motivational videos from past figures like Bruce Lee. And it's all in an effort to really understand who I am. And that's what you have to do. You have to understand yourself. You have to know that you are still you. I mean, don't fall into the depths of despair and darkness when you're going through this, man. Don't fucking let yourself get sucked into just the awfulness of what humanity can be. Just know who you are. Stay strong, man. All right? Use the knowledge that you can to get you further, to enhance yourself. Don't let it destroy you. It almost destroyed me, but I'm not gonna lie, I came out the other side okay. And you can too, man. Because ultimately, arm yourself with knowledge and fight for the light. Do your research. Open your mind to the possibilities and not the limits. Follow where the money goes, man. And kids, I won't lie to you. This is a very brief version of what I eventually want to talk about. I mean, as a whole. But this is just kind of a sneak peek as to what I've been doing. You know, researching shit, just thinking about what's actually going on in this world. And yeah, I know for a fact that I need to get more research, reading, and writing in for this potential expanded conversation. But before we leave, kids, I want to leave you with this. And I know you can't see it on the audio version, but I got myself a new hat, kids. It is the red Make America Great Again hat. And yes, I bought this on Amazon. 2 for $11.99. It's actually pretty fucking cheap. But I believe in Trump. I do. Might not always agree with him. Might not find him to be, I guess, the most, I suppose, savory person possibly in conversation. But I believe what he is doing for this country. I do. So, you don't like it? Oh, no, what are we going to do? I'm just going to wear this shit and look like the goddamn mole person / cockroach that I do. But kids, on the next episode of the Sky Lounge, dude, let's unwind. Okay, let's just finally unwind and talk some fucking sports ball. I mean, I don't mind talking politics nowadays. I don't. There's a lot of interesting stuff happening in this world. But holy fucking shit, man. I want some sports ball. So let's go ahead and do that on the next episode. All right, motherfuckers? All right. I appreciate you dropping by this episode, kids. Follow me at The Sky Lounge on SoundCloud, iTunes, and Google Music. And also check out at The Sky Lounge on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Till next time, fuck off. Maka.